Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Jacob Rollins Spike, where we're talking Super Bowl, we're talking stocks,
Yep.
we're talking, what else are we talking?
Well,
Profit taker.
all I know is it's not worth having a score change boxes if the scores never change except for field goals.
Yeah.
So you never get into any of those numbers.
What were the winning numbers?
Very
0,
disappointing
0,
for
0 won the first quarter.
0-0 on the first one,
0,
0-3 on the
3,
second one.
0, 3 the second quarter. What won the third quarter?
It wasn't 0-3 again, but it wasn't a good number. No, it was 0-3 again.
Okay. And the final was 5-2.
5-2, which is actually like when you get those numbers, you're disappointed. Like, 5-2. But those numbers were actually would have paid off.
I would have made $1,500. It slipped right out of my fingers. I had 2-9.
Oh yeah, 2-9 was there for a while. I had
2-9. That's what it was until the winning drive in overtime.
Right. I had the one just before that. Like just before the oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that was later on after they already missed the
Getting
kick.
back to stocks, I sold my Moderna today.
Stocks.
I just got disgusted.
You guys want to talk stocks?
Stocks?
After that disgraceful Super Bowl?
Well, you want to talk?
You're done with Moderna, huh?
You want to? What was the best commercial? Was there a best commercial? I didn't even like the commercials.
Well, let's see if our audience, if our audience has any opinions.
What about the Dunkin' commercial?
The Dunkin' commercial had its seconds, its moments.
It just had a lot of big names in it.
Right, and a lot of people like the Beyonce one, but
yeah, Verizon. That was Verizon. I thought that was good. Beyonce one.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was a little tame.
Yeah, and Schwarzenegger and DeVito, that was good.
Yeah, people like that.
I don't know, but basically none of them were really good. Like in the old days when they had Mean Joe Green and the Kid.
Right.
What was that? Pepsi or Coke? I don't know.
That was Coke.
Coke. Yeah, and they had
Thanks, Joe.
They had Michael with McDonald's, was it? Or Coke? Maybe it was Coke. Michael was on the commercials. Yeah, they had better commercials years ago.
Yeah. So RG's talking about.
I didn't even like the halftime show. I thought it was terrible.
Oh no, the halftime show was a little hard to sit through.
The best entertainment was Reba doing the Star Spangled Banner. Reba McEntire.
Yep.
I'm still bullish, Pallavino. Yeah, I think MicroStrategy continues on up. I think Bitcoin is going to 100K. Not all tomorrow.
Not all tomorrow. That's a very
not
good.
Not all tomorrow. Right?
Exactly. It's going to go to 100.
As a result, I sold my mstr.
Yeah, I can't sell it because I think it's going high. I mean, it could go down for a little bit and then come back.
If it goes down to a level, that's why I want to discuss it with you. How far down do you think it's going to go? If it goes down,
look at the charts for an entry point. We'll do that, and we'll look at the charts for where you might want to take profit again. I did sell my Moderna today because I got sick of it, down sharply today.
I can't say I blame you.
And
we definitely have to look at
I bought another biotech, ibrx.
ibrx.
They're having PDUFA date mid-April. I think maybe you got to run until then.
Immunity Bio. Okay.
They have a kidney drug that could be the best in class, best for bladder cancer, not kidney, bladder cancer. Might also be kidney. I don't know, but it's definitely bladder.
Unresponsive bladder cancer trials.
Right. Right. Hey, Novice is with us.
Hello.
Novice, according to the name, he's not an expert, but I bet you he knows a lot. It's like somebody.
Like I said, I heard that Bezos was selling a big amount of Amazon, like $2 billion worth.
Who was?
Now they were saying it might not mean anything when people sell, and I've heard that
Who's selling?
when insiders,
Yeah.
Bezos,
That's why
when insiders
Amazon went down
sell,
today.
sometimes it's just to fill the swimming pool.
He's been selling all along. For the last year.
I mean, if he's going to do it, this is the time. They have we should look at the chart because it looks like it's got a nice little gap to fill.
Yeah. Well, I have cash to get back in. I sold some of it. My hours.
Right.
So I'm sitting on a lot of cash. I did allocate some to IWM. And that was a good move so far.
That's above 200 now.
I started buying it at 196. I think it's 203.
It's at 203 now.
Yeah. So we should get to the charts because we want to look at the chart for
Yes.
Btc.x, Btc.x,
Right.
mstr. We want to look at wulf, WULF.
Right.
We want to look at ibrx, my new little biodrec.
Right.
Maybe look at Moderna, the one I got rid of, and look at what else did I write? Snow, SNOW. That was a request, Vibracious Vixen's request.
And AI.
Oh, really?
What's that, Kamal?
And then our request, AI for him and Amazon for me.
AI.
We're allowed to have requests too, Dr. J.
Yeah, AI. We'll look at AI, no problem. And I don't remember what else I wrote, but we could look it up, I guess.
You wrote ibit also because you're really into Bitcoin these days. You're looking to pay attention to something.
To me, the big story of the day is Bitcoin. It made my day today.
True.
Made my day. I would have been I probably would have been flat if not for Bitcoin. I own IBIT and I own MicroStrategy. That's enough to make my day.
Let's see.
Look at that candle it turned in. Beautiful looking candle, right? Bitcoin closed above 49,000, which was the old high. Took out the old high, which was 49,000. And it closed at above 50,000. Very nice move. The old high was January 10th, right? The recent high.
Yes.
January 10th, 24, so over a month. Took that out. Looks really good. Notice it sold off at that 49,000 level, sold off to a low of 38,521. And now we're up 12,000 from that. It's very, very volatile. And you got to fasten your seatbelts when you play Bitcoin. But luckily, I sold at, what do you remember what I sold at, Kamal? I sold at 461 MicroStrategy. No, 641. 641. I sold about a third of my position, and I bought back much lower. So I'm riding a new wave of winners.
Playing house money.
House money, yeah. So I've been very good with my MicroStrategy. Although I did sell prematurely my mrna, did not get back into that, but I added to IBIT instead, which exactly mirrors Bitcoin. So let's take a look at the weekly and get a better idea. Well, we got to look at the tighten it up a bit. Well, we got a ways to go to get to the highs, right? 68,789 back here in 2021. November 7th, 2021. We made a high of 68,789. Wow, almost 69,000. Well, I think we're going to get there, though.
Eventually,
Yeah, I think this year. I think we go higher than that. I think we probably go all the way up to 80, between 80 and 100,000 by the end of this year on Bitcoin. And I think the bank situation works in its favor. So if there's a banking crisis, this will be like a safe haven for many people. And as people realize that, they first flood into it. This one is a very bullish Bitcoin, not only this year, but for the next 10 years. I'm not saying you shouldn't trade it because it's extremely volatile. What Kamal did today is probably the right way to do it. You take your profits. You've had a nice profit on mstr, Kamal.
yeah,
You took your profit. You wait for a pullback. You come back in.
that's what I want to discuss today, the pullback.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. So let's look at where the pullback is going to be. I may not be for a while, but that's okay. It will pull back. Where do I think it's going before then, though? That's the thing. There's very, very little in the way of resistance. Up here, this is it, pretty much. There's a little resistance up here at 52,000. So I think it goes at least up to 52,000. I'll draw that line. $51,747. You got some resistance right there. So if you want to play the game like Kamal, if it gets up there at 51,747 or a little below that, you sell it and you try to buy it back right at this low or just above this low of 38,521. So let me put that in. 38,521. Right there, or 38,166, whatever, around there. So there you have your support and your resistance, right where I drew the lines, Kamal. That's an ideal place to come back. First, I think it's going to go up to the top line, and then maybe it pulls back to the bottom line.
Can we check MSTR?
On which one?
MSTR, the chart for MSTR.
All right. It roughly is going to correspond, I would think. Well, IBIT definitely corresponds, right? But
Yeah.
let's look at MSTR. Oh, well, MSTR, you're looking at clear-cut support right at this bottom at 438.74. And if it gets past, I think it will get past 727, the previous high. What did it do today?
Yeah, today is 725.
I think you're looking at a retest up here of 891. I don't know what's going to happen first. You may not have a chance to get it cheaper. You may. It's hard to say what's going to happen first. But I think you're looking at a great deal of volatility. You're looking at 431 roughly on the downside. And this number here
The 431. Okay,
890 on the upside.
that's a huge.
Yeah, but it's not that huge. You've been in it long enough to know how this thing
Right.
moves. It looks huge, but it's not. It could happen in 2 days, 889. And so could on a crash of Bitcoin, 431, 438, whatever, could easily happen again.
Okay.
So,
Do you see when the 200 crossed the 50 or the 50
well,
crossed the 200?
also, let me give you another entry point.
Yes, that's what I want.
The midpoint of this green candle, right in here, 567.
I concur. Yes.
So you're looking at the possible pullback to 567.
567 sounds like a great number.
Yeah, it's got some good features to it, that number. It's got a 5 in it, a 6 in it, and a 7. And it goes in order. 5,
But
6.
do you see how many candles it hits all the way across?
I do. That's why I drew the line there. And also, I like the midpoint of the body of the big green candle always for a retrace. I notice it often happens, comes back to exactly that midpoint. So I'd be looking to probably add myself if it pulls back there.
Yeah. Do you see when the 50 crossed the 200? That's when
Yeah, yeah. That's another target.
Yeah, that's when the magic happened. You see how it shot up?
Oh yeah, it was very bullish golden cross, the 50 and the 200. That magical powers, that cross. It shot up exactly with that. I think it's going to continue going, but we'll see. It could back off a little. It could actually, there's a gap to be filled. There's a gap to be filled right here on the weekly. It's a little gap. The close was 646.32.
Could you show the 6 months or the 3 months?
The 3 months,
Yeah, my eyesight is not that great, man.
6 months.
There you go.
I was saying this is actually a slight gap. 640, the 648.90, 646.32. Little gap to be closed right there. I don't know how it looks on the daily. Let's see how it looks on the daily. You're nothing but gaps, huh? First gap is 646. Second gap is 587.81. This number comes up a lot, this 587. Right around there. I mean, you look at the charts and you figure out based on, pull back, if it pulls back, try to get it at a place where you have some support like
Right.
this.
What scared me today is these huge candles, going up constantly. I thought that, you know what, I want to take some profit.
Yeah, it could. I mean, but it's such a big candle, and it showed very little fatigue at the end. It could continue. I actually think it continues a little longer. How long? How much longer? We got to go back to the weekly again if you want to see. But I gave you the numbers.
Yes, I have them.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to look at Wolf?
Yeah, I sold Wolf as well today.
I never owned it. Wolf has a beautiful looking chart as well, and it broke this high on the daily. This high is 246. Did it break it? No. It did today. It hit 248. You sold it in the 30s, 230s, right?
239, I sold it.
All right. You got a good price.
I mean, I owned it for like a week, not even like 10 days or so. I got it like 150 something. I saw it 240.39.
If it closes above the top of the candle from 111, which is 246, a close above 246 tomorrow, I think we're going to the top.
Yeah, it was. I made 50% on it in
The
like
top,
10 days.
the top is 317.
Yeah.
I think that's very possible.
Yep.
Again, you're looking at a highly volatile commodity, or whatever you want to call it. I guess you call it a commodity, for lack of a better term. So what do you think, looking at the chart? Are we going to test 316, or do we pull back to say?
I think it will, but I think it's going to pull back a little bit, and I'm going to go back in.
Well, you got 203 to fill the gap.
Your gap fill.
Yeah.
So that might be a good spot if it does pull back, right to that 203 mark. I just
Yep.
drew the line. So there you have it for Wolf, $2 to basically $3. Play it between the lines. I think it's going up, but like Kamal said, it could pull back for the gap first. All right. What else did I want to look at today? Snow. I promised Vibrant Vixen. We'd look at snow. Snow IPO'd about 2 years ago or 3 years ago now. Not quite remembering.
What are these guys do?
Snow is one of those cloud data companies.
I see.
9/14/2020 it IPO'd. So it's only around for
3.5 years.
three and a half, yeah. And it's had some two big peaks. The high up here when it was off the IPO high of 429, and then a year later, 11/15, it was 405, and it hasn't seen those levels since, as it went straight down to its low back in June of 2022, middle of the year. Its low was 110, and we've doubled off that low. So what's the encore from here? This is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Switching. Well, stay with the weekly. This high is very good resistance. 246 is tough resistance here. So let's put that in on the weekly. 246. So it's just above where it closed. You have a pretty tough resistance there. It gets past that, you're looking at a clear run, I think, all the way up to 329. So that would be second area of resistance. Right now, let's take a look at the daily for further clues. We're trading on the weekly with a golden cross of the 50 and 100. So we have a golden cross as well. And look at how it went up off that golden cross, Kamal.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, let's look at the daily. The daily, we have a golden cross back here in 2022. No, what date is that?
Like
Golden cross was
last December.
Oh, in December. Yeah, December 7th, day of infamy, right?
Yeah.
December 7th, and it did take off right up. After that, then pulled back a little, put in a double bottom basically, and now we're continuing on up. On a gap fill, it looks like a great place to enter at 222, right? Right.
Yeah.
223 looks like support, perhaps, maybe a little lower. 220. That area looks like support. And we saw from the weekly that it can run to 329 potentially. So let's make that our end of year target on this one, as I'm bullish the market, bullish tech, bullish cloud companies, bullish data companies, bullish everything, pretty much. I'm going to go with a big target, 329, small pullback to 220. So buy the dip on snow. That's how it looks to me. I'm not in it. One of the ones that I'm doing today that I don't own, Wulf I don't own. I do own MicroStrategy. I do own ibit. I would show the chart on ibit, but it really looks like Bitcoin because it mirrors.
It's probably the same.
Yeah, it mirrors it exactly. I want to show the spies, which it finished flat today. It's the kind of candle I don't like after a long run up. I don't like that gravestone doji type candle. That being said, I do like everything else about the spies. So if indeed this is a pullback going to happen right now, 482.45 would be my target, which would be 5%. Is that right? Not even. Let's draw that in. I'm always looking for a pullback. At any time you can get a pullback. You never know when. But this would be the perfect area for a pullback. 482.86. Buy at 482. Add to your positions, as I think every dip should be bought. If we get a more sustained dip, that would take you down to about 466. But, that may happen, but I don't think so. Then you're looking at, about 8%? I don't think it goes down that much, but it could. So I'm always looking for a 3 to 5% correction, and we may get one here. 482 from 500 is 18 points. That's better than 3%. Those are the kind of corrections I'm thinking we're going to see. And I think every correction will be bought, unless, of course, there's a black swan event like banks imploding, geopolitical disaster, natural disaster. Why am I talking all these negatives, Spike? I'm talking too negative.
Yeah, it's the spike effect. You have to.
I'm saying bad things. I mean, bad things could always happen. I shouldn't start rattling off.
Well, because we've seen such a good run.
Yeah, it looks too good to be true. This run, man. That's why I'm thinking something's gonna happen. I mean, I'm just being cautious.
What makes me extremely bullish, and is the fact that everyone on CNBC, every strategist, analyst, almost without exception, is calling for a correction now. They're never right, so therefore.
So if you keep your head while everyone else is panicking.
We have a couple of more weeks, probably at least, before we get the correction.
Yeah, when you look at IWM, you have to think about a melt up.
I bought IWM I've been buying it the last few trading sessions. This is a beautiful channel, though. I mean, really nice channel. The upper trend line is really nice on SPY.
See, but this one is a lot better behaved.
Yeah, the upper trend line is nice. Roughly that. Looks very nice. It looks really good, and it is really good. I didn't throw the channel too well. But that's okay. Get the idea.
Yeah, everybody gets the idea.
Yeah. I don't have I have the old version that where not the new one. Beta. I don't have.
I like this one better though. You get more control with this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I know that is hovering about 2.5.
Yeah,
ALT, I'm still holding on
that
to
one
it.
gives and takes. You want to do IWM?
Walnut is one of mine that's looking good. It's looking
Yeah.
good. It's flagging, a little bull flag right in here. So that's looking good. Mara shot up back to the high 20s. I mean, this one is a yo-yo along with MicroStrategy and Wolf and so on. All of the miners are yo-yo. What else did I write down? I can't remember.
Why don't you do IWM while you think?
IWM
and AI.
And AI.
IWM, I believe, is going to take out this high at 205.49. That's why I'm in it. I'm not in it just to sell it at 205. I think it takes out resistance. If we get a double top, then I'll be selling. But I think we should be all right. I think it takes that out. Takes that out, I'll add more.
That doesn't look like a melt up to you.
No, 240 is my target on this before the end of the year. Easy 240. I'm liking that a lot. 246, I think, is a high. I have to look at the long-term chart.
Yeah, 220. Yeah, but I don't think it's that high. I don't think it's 240s. I think it's somewhere in the 230s.
It's up here, 244.46 is the high. Right in there. Why does it say 466? That's not right.
No, it's not. Ignore that.
It's 244.46.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, my target is to take out 244. I think that's happening, and IWM is looking strong on days when the other indices are just flat or weak. So I think IWM is finally going to see is going to get the glory this year, maybe, as I continue to add to it. I'm sitting on a wad of cash from the Amazon sales. So I keep adding to things.
Uh-huh.
In particular, IWM is the main one that I'm adding to. I also started a new position on ibrx, right? I told you that, right?
Yep.
What does it do again? They have a drug for bladder cancer, right?
For bladder cancer, yes.
Bladder cancer. And I should look at the yearly. Crazy. Did I put in the wrong chart? I don't care. I want yearly.
You got 5 years. You got 5 years by year. There you go.
I want yearly. So I mean, right above us, what I said before, right above us is the resistance on this one. The 316 level looks like support, and the 528 level is resistance. I'm not in it for 50 cents. I think we go higher than that. I'm in it for the PDUFA run through middle of April. Whether I stick around for the PDUFA decision or not, I'm probably not, because I've been so unlucky doing that.
Yeah, I know. Even good news is bad news.
Yeah, I've just been so unlucky. It seems like BioDrec, you have to sell before the PDUFA. Of course, an early PDUFA is a positive. In other words, if they get approval tomorrow and they're expecting it mid-April, this thing will pop. But on the other hand, if it runs up to 8, let's say to 8 before the PDUFA, it might go down even if approved. So I've had very bad luck keeping it through PDUFA, any biodrug. And this one looks promising, but they all have nice stories, right? Right, guys? That's why I love biotech for the stories. I mean,
Yeah, and not only that, but when you catch lucky on biotech, you could actually make some money. It's sort of like it's like playing the craps table instead of blackjack.
yeah, I mean, we hit a couple of good ones. We hit Sava from 8 and 12. I bought it at 8, bought it at 12, ran to 120. I sold it at. I mean, it happens, but few and far between, right?
Exactly.
We had one.
We've had mixed results with BioCrest.
We had one that ran from 2 to 70. I went to the gym. I came out. It was 70. That was what was the name of that one? I don't even remember anymore. Do you remember?
That Biontix?
It was something with a B.
There was one that was partnering with Pfizer that really made a nice move during COVID.
This was pre-COVID. This run I'm talking about. Biopath, maybe Btc.x.
Oh yes, I missed that one. That was when I first started doing the show.
It was a long time ago already. Btc.x.
Yes, I lost tons of money on that one.
You lost because you went in afterwards.
Correct.
I went in before and made tons of money. All right. Anyway, now it's.
You want to look at AI for Kamala?
Yeah, I'm not recommending that anybody buy this. I'm just talking about the good things that happen.
Reminiscing.
Yeah. Of course, I don't recommend people buy anything I say because I'm just talking about stocks that I own, stocks that I intend buying, and I have vested interest in these stocks. And if you buy, do I make money if people buy? It helps. Can I influence the markets like Kramer? Probably not. But the point is, don't listen to our.
You're not a market mover.
Our opinions are strictly our own and not investment advice, and so on and so forth. Got to check with a qualified, certified, whatever investment advisor who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah. So what's the appeal of this, Kamal?
So this one, it looks like it broke all the moving averages that we know of. And
it made a nice move. I think you're too late.
I'm in it.
You own it?
Oh, you've been in it?
Yeah,
Good. Good on you.
You own it. That's great.
I just wanted to know how high it's gonna go, man.
I thought maybe you just wanted to glow.
I think if you get to 33.91, you take your profits. I don't know where you bought it.
Yeah.
But this high probably is good high to shoot for. And it's true that it could go higher. If it goes higher than that, you could get a huge run all the way to 44.90. So if you want, you can do what I do. You sell some of it.
I see.
But that's not your style, I know.
No.
Well, you still have some room to run before you have to think about that.
It could also pull back to fill this gap right in here.
Could.
To 26.94. I don't particularly trust this company, but nothing to do with the charts, and really not well founded in any strong reasoning other than the fact that they changed their name to AI to reflect the hot area, and they've changed their names a few times. So I just don't like that about the company. it may not mean too much, but it's just a little mishigas that I have, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a mishigas. All right, so
Yeah.
AI, I would be taking profits at around $33.
I see. Okay, thanks.
You want to do me a favor and look at Amazon before we go?
Yeah, Amazon, sure. I still own a ton of Amazon. I did sell quite a bit of it. That's why I have the cash to go into other things. I mean, I also have cash tied up in treasuries, but they are coming due every single month. So I have one coming due in February, one in March, one in April, one in May, one in
Right.
July.
Yeah, you're compelled to spend money during all
Well,
of
I
this.
can just roll them over, buy more treasuries, or I could invest, depending on where I think the market is, you know.
Thought says ibrx might be a buyout target, which is why it's good that you're in.
ibrx
Yeah, incidentally, yeah.
could be, but that's true about any biodrug.
Yeah, now this one, do you think there's going to be a gap fill, or especially with that last little red candle, or?
Gap fill would take you down to 159.28. It's possible. But I think the 3 to 5% correction, so 5% if it happens today. Let's say it happens from the top today. Top today is 175. 17 and a half times 3 is about 50 points. No. Is that right? No, that's
5.
No, man, that's a lot.
1/3 of that. It's it's $1.75 times 3. That's what it is.
About
Three
$5. About $5.20.
5.25.
Yeah.
So 167. That's what I'm looking for. What's this number? 167, right there. Yeah, that's where I think it comes down to.
You're not even seeing a gap fill. You're just seeing a new floor.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. I think it comes down to the support area. I don't think it goes lower. Right there. 167 and change.
I
Yeah.
agree because it kind of earned it with the last quarter report.
Yeah, I think Amazon is very bullish. Bezos selling doesn't seem to be a big factor.
I noticed that. I mean, people were just like, "Oh, it's very interesting," but they didn't really go beyond saying it was interesting.
What's interesting is that no matter how hard people want this one to come back so they could buy it, it keeps going up.
That's been my story for the first 4 years of doing
Look at
this.
how high it went today before the pullback. 810. You believe that?
That's crazy, man. I look at it, I'm like, oh, this many people are gonna get hurt very soon.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's like a straight line. If you tighten this up, it looks like a straight line. Look at that.
It's a hype.
It's a straight line. I got a million lines. Yeah, I don't know why I got so many lines.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to see that line that you
That's a
just
lot of
drew.
analysis, Dr. J.
Analysis paralysis.
And I'm glad I sold this in pieces. I'm trying to do the undraw. Where do I get the undraw?
When you go to the draw, just do the clear drawings. Where it says line.
Now it looks much better.
Yeah, this looks like a straight line up.
Doesn't
Yeah.
it? Let's say it was a straight line up.
I mean, this is. I would love to be in it, but I'm not.
50% retrace.
I still have one share.
That is funny.
What would a 50% retrace look like? 410 to 810. That would look like 610. 610. Let's draw that in. 610. have to, that's 586. There we go. There we go, 610. That would be my Dr. J buy signal, right at that 600 level. And with a stock like this, you know you're going to get it if you're patient.
Right.
Okay, so we covered everything?
Yeah, it's been 45 minutes. We should go.
All right, thanks again for coming. Thanks, Darth. What does Darth say?
We're expecting snow tomorrow.
Buyout target.
Yes, we are.
Indubitably is with us. And so is RG Pallavino. Okay. Good to have company while we do our show.
Exactly.
Welcome to all new viewers. Welcome back to all the old viewers. We'll see you all Thursday. Happy trading. Let's make some money.
Good night.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.